Yes, I am live. FPS is stable. kbps is stable after suffering for a bit, and I tried so hard and the day after yesterday to get this stream started. And yesterday I was in college, so I was not able to stream. But now I think things should work. And yes, without wasting any time, I will just begin. Here we were yesterday in like day before yesterday's stream. I did this one question which I do not. Well, the stream got deleted and it wasn't any good anyway. So yeah, now we will just begin. And I was trying to do this question which is at 1900 level in code forces, but I was unable to. And now we will go back to our schedule of solving questions linearly, starting from 800. New M, yep. And in here, click on this. And my goal is to complete 5 questions per day. And let's see how that goes. Yes, I have got this. Now here. An array b1, b2 till bn of positive integers is good if all the sums of an array b1, b2, bn of positive integers is good if all the sums of two adjacent elements are equal to the same value. Is good if all the sums of two adjacent elements are equal to the same value. More formally, the array is good if there exists a case such that b1 plus b2 equal to b2 plus, okay, b n minus 1 plus bn equal to k. All right. Dormy has an integer a of length n. Okay, integer a of length n. Now Dormy can permute its elements, change their order however she wants, determine if she can make the good array. Shit. Okay, input. The input consists of multiple test cases. The first line contains a single integer t, which is the number of test cases. The first line of each test case contains a single integer n, the length of the array a, and wait, Dormy has an array a of length n. Okay, she has an array a of length n. How would I do this? I do not want it sorted. Okay, do I want it sorted? Nope. Okay, I guess I have a thing in my mind. I have a small solution in my mind, and I made a key map space leader B L P, and I have the boilerplate then, right? And this is what I will get after getting the number of test cases. The next thing I will get is n, so C in n, and that would be the size of the array, and array is shit, going to be an integer array called air, a vector. Now while n minus minus, okay, let me also have some counter C in n to C and air dot push back C. Right, now I have the array. And is the stream fine? YouTube is not receiving enough data. YouTube should be receiving enough fucking data. As a result, viewers will experience buffering. It should be receiving enough data. Shit. It is receiving enough data. That is fine. Receiving The stream seems fine. I don't know. Okay, I will just continue because kbps is fine. Frames have dropped. 79 frames have dropped. FPS is also reducing. 0.8% frames have dropped. FPS is reducing even in 30 FPS. I will simply continue. Should I simply continue? No, I want my stream to be watchable. Shit. Is it not fine? Even in 30 FPS. The stream seems fine. If, well, I don't think there are any viewers, so there aren't any viewers right now, and 79, that number has not changed. Okay, I will just continue. Now I have the array. Now what do I have to do? After getting the array, I have to maybe sort it now. Okay, is there a number k such that this condition is true? The lowest value for k can be the largest integer plus the smallest one. And if I have sorted the array, then I should be able to do this. Then if I have sorted the array, then I can just add the smallest to the biggest and find out the sum, and then continue to add the second smallest to the second biggest and see the sum. If they match, then I should have my answer. There could be negative numbers also. They are not negative numbers, they are all positive. I think this should be doable in that way. Here in this case, the answer is yes. In this case, the answer is also yes due to some reason. Wow. In this case, the first test case, this 9 and 8, 8 and 9 are good. In the second test, I can put. Okay, so not that. 1 plus 2 and 2 plus 1 is cool. Right, that is also one way to do this. In this, it is not sorted, but still it is fine. Okay, seems stable. Okay, in the third case, it can be shown that no permutation is good. I do not want to go through every single permutation because that would be stupid, and I should have something better to do than doing that stupidity. In the fourth case, answer seems no. Yes, it is no. In the fifth case, it is yes. So how would I go about doing this? Okay. Um, in the first case, answer is yes. In the second case, answer is yes. I want consequent. I want to find out a pattern in which the sum of consecutive integers is equal. Wait, consecutive is equal. That would only be true. Let me go to spell it wrong. I have one concurrent viewer, and if you are actually watching this, would you tell me if the stream looks fine? That would be pretty helpful. Let's see. Not this color, normal color. If I have B1, then B2, then B3, then B4, then B5, let's say B6. And what I want to have is I want to have this in such a way that b1 plus b2 equal to b2 plus b3, which is equal to b3 plus b4, which is equal to b4 plus b5, which is equal to b5 plus b6. So for this, I want to have b1 equal to b3 and b2 equal to b4, and then b3 equal to b5, and then b6, b4 equal to b6. That would be the only case, I guess, in which it is fine. And if that is the case, then I have to go through the array once and see how many different numbers I have. Like in this case, I only have 8 and 9. In this case, I only have ones and a single 2. Then, and in both the cases, answer is yes. In this case, third case, I have ones, 4, and 5s. And the answer is no. In this, yes, 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 that is wrong. So I also have to see that the difference between, let's say, b1, b3 equal to b5, it is equal to, let's say, x. I have a number x, and b2 equal to b4 equal to b6. That is y. Now the number of times I have x minus the number of times I have y should be, the modulus of that number should be equal to 1 or less. Right. Either they can be equal or they can, or the only difference can be 1. Like in this case, I have two ones and ones 2, and the difference is 1. So that is good. I think that is the algorithm. Connection is excellent. And let's move on. And yeah, I will implement that algorithm. And for this, I wouldn't even have to do this. Right, I don't even have to save the array. I can just keep passing through it. Let's say C is the current one, and X and Y, and let's say X count and Y count. And in here, I will take the current number, whatever it is, into C, and initially X count equal to 0, and also Y count equal to 0, initially, that is. Now, but also I have to see numbers. Yes. Right. X and Y will not cut it. I also need a vector in which I will store all the different numbers that are occurring. Okay, since if I see a third number which is different and not being seen till this point, then I can just remove that from there. I can just return with no at that point. So how would I go about doing that? And this x and y, and let's say I have x comma y, and x will be equal to -1 because I am never going to see -1, and y is also equal to -1 because I am never going to see -1 because all the numbers in the integer are positive numbers, right? Then if x equal to -1, then I can just put x equal to c first and xc plus plus, right? And if x is not equal to -1, wait, is that what I have to check every time? Yes, I have to first of all check if the things have been initialized or not. First I will check, right? And if x is not equal to -1, that is I already have either x or y, both. Then I will check for y. If y equal minus 1. If that is the case, then I will have to check again if c is not equal to x, that is I have a different number, then I will put that different number in y and cy plus plus, which is, okay, I have put in that as yc, y combinator plus plus. Else, if that is not the case, then xc, x count plus plus. Right. That is, if I do not have a y and the new number that I currently have, if it is equal to, if it is not equal to x, then I will put y equal to that number and increase y count by 1. Else, I will put x, I will increase xc, which seems fine. Now, here else, that is, I have both x and y here. So I will have to check who is the new current number equal to x or y. If c equal to x, then x count increases. Else, if c equal to y, then y count increases. Else I can first of all see out no with a new line, and I have to complete the whole array. So while n minus minus, I will do cn into c, right, and move on to the next case. That is just break out of it. Right, n minus minus, yes, that should do it. But if I pass all of these, I have x and y at the end, and y count and x count. Then what I would like to do is, if x count minus y count, and I want to make this thing positive, so there should be a modulus mod f pause, how to get magnitude of a number in C++ without a semicolon, of course. Concurrent viewers and the people watching this, can you please tell if the stream is fine or not? Abs makes sense. Abs means absolute. If abs is absolute equal to this, uh, if absolute is less than or equal to 1, if that is true, then see out yes, otherwise see out no. I think that should work. Run test case, compiling, and it is taking a while in compiling, running. Yes, yes, no, no, and the last one it didn't go through due to some reason. Right, it didn't pass the last one due to some reason. You will have to see now. Mm, hmm. The last one says that, okay, if all of them are equal, yes, I haven't done that. Right, if all of them are equal, then it should have passed something like this. Like, so it didn't came out of the while loop, it seems. See, in, yeah, it took 1,000, and then, yeah, it made x equal to 1,000, and then else, if this, yep, it kept increasing xc by 1 every time, and then when I did xc, which should be at the end 4, minus yc, which would be 0, it was not equal to minus 1 less than or equal to 1, then it should have outputted no, but it didn't due to some reason. Why is that? Let's see again. It didn't output it 0. Yep, stream is fine. 91 frames have dropped, and a little while ago it was 79. This is also fine. Still no output. It is not that the output is wrong. Wait, I guess the output is wrong. Right. Okay. If x equal to minus 1 or single or, right? Or y equal to minus 1, then just see out. Yes. And this is the else if case and then else case. Let's see. Run now. It is running. TE. Is it type error? Is it an error? If x equal to 1, 33. See out. Yes, it should have worked. If x equal to 1 or y equal to -1, then I should print this. It's not being printed. Shit. Compiling, running, and so it is compiling, then it is running, and TE is something wrong. I'm not getting this TE without that one condition. Let's see. I'm still getting that TE error. Let's see. The name of this problem is Doremy's Paint 3. So line plus plus Doremy's Paint 3, output out. Run that thing with this input manually. Right, yes, and then no. And the program doesn't exist. Is it time error, TE? Okay, so it is not working in this case. I got n equal to 4. Then I got this. C, it should be equal to 1,000 in this case. And then if x equals -1 and x equals, right. At first I should get C equal to 10,000. Then also, and then x initially is equal to -1. Then x should become equal to 10,000 and xc should become equal to 1. Then in next iteration, I should get c again as 10,000. And now x is not equal to -1. I will go to else, and else y is equal to -1, not equal to, is equal to -1. Then I will check if is c equal not equal to x, which it is. So I will go to else, and xc will be incremented by 1. Then I will go again, and xc will again be incremented by 1 because I will get 10,000 again. And then in the last case, it will again be incremented by 1, right? Right. equal to -1. Hmm. Right. This should be fucking working. Let me put in some blocks. See out. See. Lag. Slash out. And I do get. Wait. For the first case, 2, it says 2, and then I'll do it. 8, 9, then 3, this, 4, all of these, and then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4, this. For the first one, I took in this and I printed this, then the second, then in fifth one, I printed 5 in this. Why did I print 5 in that case? Wait, I am messing up something. 1 on 2, 1 on 4, 5, right? And then 5, why? 1 on 4, 5, right? I should have taken 5. 5 should have been equal given to n. Right? 5 should have been given to n, not to c. C out n line dot slash out. Let's see. Oh, that is not correct. My bad. Let's see. Okay. Can't see. Increase the size of the text and please help out. Okay, I will do my best, I guess, to help you out in your ventures. And now copy. Let me also increase the size of this thing. That much should be fine. Now this. Okay. In the first, I got n equal to 2, which is correct, and then I got n equal to 3, which is correct. Then I got n equal to 4, which is correct. Then I should have gotten n equal to 5, which I didn't get due to some reason. So that is where the problem lies. Let's see, show me the unable to see anything, unable to see. Is it because of the size or the quality is low? Is it fine now? The size. I think this much is a bit too big, but I guess this should be fine. Okay, if absolute, okay, I'm not getting n correctly in the next case. Why is it because of this? Okay, I think it is because of this. Cause let's say n is equal to 4, right? And right, I have to simulate through this case. N is equal to 4, and then I take 1, 1, 4, and 5. Let's see. I take in 1, 1, 4, and 5. Right. N is equal to 4. So in this, n becomes equal to 3. Right. I go in this. Right. I get c equal to 1. And I put x equal to 1. Right. Cool. And then I go, the loop runs again. And n now becomes equal to 2. And I go into else condition. And I see that it is equal to n. So I increase x. It is equal to x. So I increase x count. That is cool. And then in the third iteration, n is equal to 2. N is equal to, first it became equal to 3, then 2, and now n is equal to 1, right? And I get input as 4, and I see y is equal to 0, and the new number that I have gotten is not equal to x. So I make y equal to 4, and y count increases by 1, and it becomes equal to 1, right? And then, right, in the next case, I get 5, and n has become equal to 0. I have taken 5 internally, and then shit. Now n is equal to 0, and then I am doing this thing. Is this a problem? I don't think so. This could be a problem. Let's see. Hmm. This could be a problem actually. No. Okay. Let me also do Cn for the remaining n. Is this the part that is causing the problem? Because while n minus minus, this should not cause any problem in the next iteration. And I also want to see. Okay, let me change these, and this one will be small. Run. Uh, right. Shit. And uh, go back to Dorem's paint, and I'll go back there, compile the program again, and run it again. It is compiling. It took a bit of time, and let's see. Copy and paste, and no. Okay, so both the times that I am getting no, I'm getting no from this part and not from the other part, which suggests that I am encountering digits that I shouldn't be encountering. Right, so I got no in the third and the fourth case. This is the first, this is the second, this is the third case, and I should get no from this, right, in the way that I am getting, but in this I should not be getting no, this smaller no. No, P, space OP, yes, right, highlight, that's highlight, yes, highlight line, and again, redo highlighting, right, highlighting, syntax highlighting, highlighting, I want to highlight the cursor line, column, no, cursor line, this one, right, that is good, that is much better, I guess, yeah. So while n minus minus is hello, I don't know, IDK, right, while n minus minus, I am getting no from this part, which I shouldn't be getting, right, but why is that happening? No, new line, right, right. I think I'm messing up with taking input. Let's see, after getting this, see out what is the value of n that I have, this, and a new line, of course, data, right, to make things look beautiful. Copy the input, /out, paste, and n is equal to -2, which is horrible. All right. Wait. Okay, I'm printing n after everyone. Hey, shit. Let me clean it a bit. What are the C outs that I have? Right. This one. This one. Save. Move there. Control C. lang compile copy. It is compiling and it is taking a bit of time in compiling. /out, paste the output, and right after the first one, n is equal to 0, which is fine. And in the second one, n is equal to -1, and it will keep on decreasing because once n is negative, it will keep decreasing forever, and the program will never stop. Cn taking c, yes, that is horrible. So at this point, we have n equal to 0, right after when I get after this case, n is equal to 0. And that shouldn't change anything else. N is equal to 0 after this case. You can see all of the things. What is the value of x, let's say, and then a new line, and what is the value of, right, other things. What is the value of y, what is the value of x count, and what is the value of y count, and something else. Yep, what is the value of c, right? What is the value of c, and I have to remember the order. First one is c, then I have n, then I have x, then y, then yc, and then xc, and then yc. Compile, copy. What is CP31? CP31 is a competitive programming sheet which you can follow and do. It has questions like this, and these questions are at different rating, starting from 800 rating till 1900 with an interval of 100, and at every rating you have 31 questions, thus CP31, and this helps you in increasing your level and your brilliance and helps you train in competitive programming. Right here, first one was N, which is cool. Shit, I forgot. First is C, which is equal to 5. Yes, that is what I want because that is the last number here in this C. That is the last number, 5. Then I have N, which should be equal to 0, which it is equal to 0. And then I have 1 4 2 1. 1 4 2 1. 1 is x, 4 is y, because y is 4. Yes, because the first thing that I encountered was a 1, and then the second distinct number that I encountered was a 4. That is cool. And c should be equal to 5. xc and yc, right? xc should be equal to 2 and yc should be equal to 1, which it is 2 and 1, and then I print no, that is cool. Then I print no for the second case when no where c is equal to 5 due to some reason, and c should not be equal to 5 in this case. Why is c still equal to 5 in this case? Shit, I am unable to figure that out. Why is c still equal to 5 and x and y have not changed? Wait, so I want to see out t and okay, here is t. and T and new line, right? Put 28 go there. I'll remove all of these things. Clang dot slash out is how I will run the program. Copy. It is compiling, run, and give input. Right. Here is T. T was 3. Right. T was equal to 4. Then it became 3. And then it became 2. So it never went out. That is crazy. Okay. Okay. I think I get it now. Alright, alright. Because this while loop made n this n minus minus made n equal to -1 because n was because we were at the last integer, so n was already 0, and this n minus minus made n equal to -1, which didn't stop this loop because since n negative is considered as a positive thing, as a true value, therefore we never quit this loop and we just remain there. So the solution is if we have to check n, if n not equal to 0, only then do this. Right now this should work. Run this. Mhm. I have to remove here is p because that is not what we want. Right, wait, have I saved? Save and run. Let's see, compiling. It says wrong answer. Why? Right. Yes, 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 and then and no, that is correct. And then I got no twice here due to some reason, and for this fourth case I got a yes, which is not acceptable. The fourth case I got a yes due to some reason. In this case I got a yes. Why? Hmm. Hmm. Right, I am checking this. Right, if I have already done this here, then I do not want to put out any yes or no later. So how do I avoid this if else condition later? Right, yeah, I can just, instead of doing this, I can put x count equal to a random thing like -10, which is going to trigger this no being printed from here. Yeah, cool. I guess that should work. I hope. Okay. WA, that is that. No, no, no. Yep, it gave out no for the last one too, which is wrong. It shouldn't give no for this thing. Right. If uh, right. Okay. Yeah, because there was also one condition which I removed later. Yes. If x equal if y equals -1, then C out yes with a new line. New line. Right. And this is else if. And let's see. Run back. It is compiling. WA. Wrong answer. Why? Why wrong answer? That is correct. Yes, yes, no, no, yes, yes, that is correct. Save, space PP. Right. Let's see. Rerun, compiling, running, and WA. WA is wrong answer, but it's same correct. Let me submit this and see what happens. Stream quality is excellent. That is cool. 800, yes. And the one that I'm solving right now is a Doremy's paint. Yep. Submit. Let's see. Hmm. Running test one. Time limit exceeded on test two. Let's see what is test two. I have made this way too big, I think. No, I don't think so. Judgment protocol, test one is fine, and test two it broke out. Output, no, and then it is stopped. Output was no in this case, which is I think correct. Alright, output and wait, I am not seeing the output. It will stop. Test two time 1000 milliseconds, memory 0, exit code -1, checker exit code 0, time limit exceeded. Okay, so it didn't run completely. Let me copy and run this thing on my own. And yes, it does not continue after a point. Why? If n is equal to 0, if n is not equal to 0, then make it equal to 0. Shit. Shit, yes, I do not want to make it equal to 0. I yes, shit, yes, okay. Right, 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 right. When it is not equal to 0, I do not want to make it equal to 0. Yes, yes, yes. That makes sense because if I make it equal to 0, then when my loop goes to here and wait no, n will be equal to 0 and this checks n before and then updates n. And so this should not cause any problem. When we do if n is greater than 0, only then do that. I don't know why do I get the wrong answer here. YouTube is not receiving enough data. I think it should be receiving enough data. FPS is stable and kilobytes per second is also stable. Frames have dropped, but they were dropped earlier. Now it is fine. CPU is only being used 14%, which is also great. It, it should be fine. Shit. Build error. Compiling, right? Um, okay. Wrong answer due to some reason. Still wrong answer. Shit. If x put xe equal to minus 10, It has a very specific reason to be that way, and else xc plus plus. So this should be one of the easiest questions, but I am unable to do it. Right, I take in first of all, in this step I take in n, right, and then I do run a loop n times, right, that is cool. Okay, so this thing I'm going to be facing quite a bit, in which I have already determined the answer and I do not want to continue. Then in those cases, is this the right approach? These three lines. Uh, can I get out of this loop? Oh, I cannot get out of this loop just yet. How do I do that? Can I break? Nope, I do not want to break. I want to go through the whole thing, but because I have to take all the inputs in. So I guess instead of this, let me also have another integer, which would tell me have I already solved or not solved, which is initially equal to 0. And now after this, I will see if solved, if no, if not solved, if not solved, only then do all of these things. Right. Add explicit braces. Okay. I think that was not the problem. Right, that was not the problem. It is the wrong answer. That is the only time that I'm using a while loop, else this is not solved. Yes, shit, yes, of course, fuck, shit. If after this, at this point, I know that it is solved, so I can do solved equal to 1. And not 1 is equal to false, I hope. And let's see, was that? No, that was not the thing. Yes, 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 no, no, yes. And it is not because of capital and the small. Wait, yes, I can reduce one condition here. If y equal to -1 or this thing, and let me make this small. No, cpp run, and that is correct. Now, you will. Shit, was it just because of capital and non and small? Shit, if it was, then that is pretty retard. Uh, choose file. The name is the same, but the contents have changed. Let's see. In queue. Okay. Fuck. It is accepted. And it took me 54 minutes to do this one small problem. Not too bad. It is actually pretty bad. Now, one question down. 4 questions remaining. Don't try to count. Okay. There are like CVV and BLP to get the boilerplate code, and given a string x of length n, I have a string x of length n and a string s of length m. Okay, two strings s and x and s of lengths n and m, where n into m is less than 25, consisting of lowercase Latin letters, you can apply any number of operations to the string s, okay, and to the string x. In in one operation, you append the x, current value of x to the end, current value of x to the end of the string x. Okay, note that the value of x will change after this. Okay, okay, that this is one operation. Okay, for example, if my x is aba, then appending it will be equal to aba, right? aba, and then doing that again would make it equal to 4 times the original x. Okay, after what minimum number of operations s will appear in x as a substring. A substring of a string is defined as contiguous segment of it. Okay, all right, all right. This should be doable. Wait, after how many iterations? -1 is also an answer at some point. Is if it is not possible, then I have to do -1. Okay, if it is possible, then I would just have to find the modulus of the length of modulus of m m divided by n, the lowest integer put m divided by n and get its not absolute value, but it's put it to the lowest integer function, and that would be my answer. But if it is not possible, that is something that I would have to see. The first line of each test case contains two numbers n and m, right? The length of the strings x and s respectively. The second line of each test case contains x, and the third line contains m. Okay, and output is a single number, the minimum number of operations which is required, which will make which after which s will appear in x as a substring. If this is not possible, output -1. Okay, not possible is a case that I will have to see what to do. Yep, let's just continue. So I know that I have n and m, two numbers. First of all, cn taken n and taken m, right? And let's say I have string, two strings, x and s, right? cn x, the first string, and x and s. Now I would like to see if I have x and s correctly. X, this thing, then x itself. Then wait, can I do plus instead of doing this? Plus x, and then a new line. That is valid format. Cool. And instead of this s, and instead of this s, right? Don't try to count. Don't try to count. That is the name of this thing. Okay. Client plus plus a. Don't try to count. Don't try to count. Okay. Does that is that supposed to mean something? Still compiling. It is taking quite a bit to compile. Right. In the first case, I have x equal to a and s equal to 5 times a. Right. So the thing that I was testing with this output was, am I getting these strings correctly? And in the last case, I have m and a bunch of m. Right. That's cool. So I can remove that, and now with the algorithm that I can use. Right. Right. Force. Order does matter. Right order does matter. ABA, 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 ABA. Right. Shit. Shit. How would I do this? Shit. Is this actually at 800 level? Time limit per test 2 seconds. Shit. I thought 800s were supposed to be easy questions. This one is pretty easy, right? But the later ones, A, B, A, B, A. In this, the answer is 0. In this, like first of all, I can check if if the strings have same characters, same distinct characters. That is the first thing, right? TF, TF, right? Right, right, right. And yes, yeah, right. Hmm. First of all, yes, that thing that all the characters that I have in S, do they also appear at least once in X? Right. That is the first thing that I will have to check. And then, like, that would, this case would pass it, this would pass it, this would pass it, this would also pass it, this would fail. So I can just, wait, nope, this would also pass it, this would pass it, this would pass it, this would pass, this would pass, this would pass. All of these would pass that case, but in this, I see that the fourth one, this one, this one is false. This can never happen. Why is that? That is because here I have B with A, and if I repeat it, I will get A, B, double A, B, A, right? And that would never lead to me getting A, B, A, B, A. Hmm. Sweet. Substring, substring, substring. Shit. How can I do this one? And do I also have to check for distinct strings? Is that my only option? I will optimize it later. First, I have to see, get at least a brute force algorithm to make this right. Well, the brute force algorithm would be very silly because it would go on repeatedly getting the access string repeatedly, go on repeating the X string again and again and check if S does appear, and it might never appear. Right. So I have actually two cases. First is are cases like this, in which there is only, in which I have X is a substring of S, in which the answer would be simple to find out. Like in this case, I have to see, right, after repeating x1 once, I will get x's length will become equal to 2, and then repeating it once more, it will become equal to 4, and then repeating it once more, it will become equal to 8, and I will have the answer as 3, which is correct. Right, so I will have to see in which 2's power does the answer get greater than or equal to length of s, which is doable. But in other cases where X is not a substring of S, like in this case, it is not a substring of S, then I would have to do something. I would have to see, does after repeating it once, does X become a substring of S? E F O R C E F O R C, right? And if it is not a substring, then if it is not a substring, then the only way that that X would become a superstring of S would be when all the characters in S are in X and X has the same order and they appear in the same order as they do in S. So I'm just saying words. Hmm. Um, Es funktioniert nicht. I have to solve this. Right. Right. So let's write down the cases. You copy this and slowly we will do this thing. Why is it lagging? kbps is low. Uh, FPS also dropped. It's because of Excalibur. I have these many elements. Yeah, it is because Excalibur is not pretty optimized, right? Now it is fine. This should also be fine. Which it is not. Now it is fine. kbps came back up. FPS is still low. kbps is also dropping. Shit. I'm gonna begin to solve this one. Ah, shit. Hmm. This has to be solved by some counter thinking in some way, some idea, and I think after getting that idea, the answer would be obvious. And I will get to that. I will get it. Can I check in C++ if a string is a substring of another? How to check substring in C++? Not find, right? String dot find. Right. String is this, substring is this. Size if pos, main string which is this dot find substring. Search for the substring. Found position. Now, if found position is not equal to no position, that is I found the substring. Okay, that is the way to check substring. Okay, let me first solve these cases. And this would be easy to solve these cases when I'm looking for substring. This case is like that. This is like that. This one is not like that. This one is more like this. This case is more like this case because I have to join the thing from the end with the thing from the start, and then I have my answer. BA, and this one is also like this. Here, I already have it. Here, it is the other way around. X is a superstring and S is a substring. Here they are equal, so that is cool. So yeah, let me first of all check if X is a substring of S. Checking X is a substring of S. I do not want to write comments. Right. I'll call that an sub pos. That is substring position. Now, I want to check S dot find X, right, and make it equal to sub pos equal to this. Now, if if sub pos equal not equal to string dot no pos not dot but this no npos npos, then it means X is a substring of S, and let's find out. X is a substring of S, right? Like in this case and all of those cases, then which means I have X fully inside S. Like in this case, it is a substring. But shit, this would never result in the correct answer because shit, this would never result in the correct answer. Shit. So in even when it is a substring, I would have to check what can I check that after the substring, the letter that appears is that at the start of the string. If that is at the start of the string, if that is at the start of the string, then it is fine. Otherwise, it is not fine. Okay. Video is not receiving enough information. It actually was not receiving enough information. 371 frames drop. FPS is also pretty low. Right, FPS is horribly low. I can see it right here. It is horribly low. And frames have dropped as much as I would not like them to be dropped. Quite a bit of frames have dropped. Shit. And I am unable to solve this question. Okay, I will think about it on my own in my free time because I do not want to stop. I will continue with the next question with this one. Like, how much does Daytona cost? Let's see how much does it cost. It's BLP, boilerplate, and we define an integer to be the most common on a subsegment if its number of occurrences on that subsegment is larger than the number of occurrences. Is it because my laptop is heating? I don't know. We define an integer to be the most common on a subsegment. What is a subsegment? If it is if its number of occurrences on that subsegment is larger than the number of occurrences of any other integer in that subsegment. Makes sense? A subsegment is an array of an array is a consecutive 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 segment of elements in the array A, right? Given an integer A of size n and an integer k Determine if there exists a non-empty subsegment of A where K is the most common integer element. Okay, each test contain yeah T, that is the same line. If the first line of each test contains two integer n and k, n is the size of the array and k is the integer which we want to be the most common integer in some sub-segment. The number of elements in the array and the elements which must be the most common. Yep, the single line of the test contains the elements of the array itself, and I have to print out yes if it is possible and no if it is not, right? So I would know that the sub-segment would have a boundary of two, and what can be the size of the subsegment? No, right? Okay. Will be as a positive answer, right? In this, the answer is no. In this, the answer is no because 6 never appears. That is fucking cool. I only have to check, right? Even if the number appears only once, then I can say that, like in this case, fifth case, I have 1, and which only appears once. But I can say that that last integer is my subsegment itself. So all I have to do is check if k appears at least once in my list, which is cool. Int n and k, uh, let's say c to get the current number, right? C n, first one is n, second one is k. Now while n minus minus, I will go through and let's see if, right, c n given to c, and yep, here if c equal to k, right? If c equals k, then I can print out. Then I can say std no c how yes, a new line, right? Else it just keeps on looking, and I also have some subtleties here. I have to do this, and when this is done, I can do, let's say, k equals to -1, right? Because the array is of positive integers, right? Array size in integers, non-empty subsegment k is the most integer, right? The elements of the array test is it. It seems to be. So I can put k equals -1, and here if k equals -1, then I know that I already have the answer and I do not have to go through this condition again. Right, if only go through this if k not equal to -1 and this thing. Right. Now after this, if I see that if k not equals to -1, that is, I have not solved this thing and I haven't seen k in the array, not even once, then I can say the answer is no. And that is cool. Let's try. It is compiling and it should run. It is running and AC, that is answer correct. And I can just submit it now. Wait, what is the problem's name? How much does anything? How much does anything cost? Let's see. It is running. Running on test 1, running on test 2, and it is fucking accepted. That is cool. I can refresh here and I should see this. Yes. Now moving on to the third question of the day. There are n teams in a football tournament. That is cool. Let's see. I do not have any chats. Excel connection is excellent, which is cool. FPS is low though, right? Which is not cool. There are n teams in a football tournament. Each pair of team match up once. Each pair of teams match up once. Okay. After every match, Park Chanek receives two integers as the result of the match. The number of goals the two teams score during the match. As a result, the number of goals the two teams score during the match. The efficiency of a team is equal to the total number of goals the team scores in each of its match minus the total number of goals scored by the opponent team in each of its match. After the tournament ends, Park Deng Click counts the efficiency of every team. Turns out that he forgot about the efficiency of one of the teams. Given the efficiency of n minus 1 teams, like all of this, what is the efficiency of the missing team? It can be shown that the efficiency of the missing team can be uniquely determined. Okay, Park Chanek receives two integers as a result of the match. The number of goals scored by the two teams. Ah, okay. Okay. Input each test contains multiple test cases, right? The first is t, which is the number of test cases. The first line contains a single integer n, right? The number of teams, cool. And the second has n minus 1 integers, which is the efficiency of n minus 1 teams. So this is maths. This is maths. The efficiency of each team is their total goals minus the total goals of the opponent. Wait, no, shit, I should not see no. Then it has the answer. So how can I remove notes? So submission rating, contest participation checker, save question, multi-user rating left. Okay, let me do the math thing now. My math brain will be at work here. Right. Let's say I have three teams. Or let's say I have four teams. Team one, team two, team three, and team four. And as a consequence, I would have how many matches? 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, that is n into n minus 1 upon 2. 3 plus 2 plus 1, that is equal to 6. I will have 6 matches as a consequence. And let's say in the first match, the first team scored 3 goals. Then in the second match, it scored 5 goals. And then in the third, it scored 7 goals. And these matches were against the second team, then fifth, then the third team, and then the fourth team in a linear order. When the second team scored against the first team, let's say 2 goals, these are arbitrary. I can take any number that I want, right? Any three numbers. And yes, three, right? So efficiency of the first team would be equal to the total goals that it has scored in all the matches. That would be plus 3 plus 5 plus 7, that is 15. 15 minus the second team, right? 15 minus the second team scored 2 goals. Yep. This is the match against the second team. This is the match again. Maybe I should make a matrix. That would be much better for the visual elements. Right? It is lagging. The connection is fine. Frames have dropped, but that is acceptable, I guess. Right. Let me make some lines. How many boxes would I need? It will be a 4 by 4 matrix, so 3 lines will do. G paste. somewhere here in the middle and paste here, and then rotate the line. First of all, make a new line, rotate this one, put this here, put this here. This is actually fucking lagging a lot. Put this one right about in the middle, this one here. Right. And I am actually stupid. One, two, one, two, three, four. One, two, three. That is three, four. Yep. So first team scored. I can take any numbers that I want now. That is fine. Um, three, let's say 4, 5, and any number does not matter. It second team didn't have a match with itself. And then the third team and the fourth. Right. So the efficiency of the first team would be equal to 1. The efficiency would be equal to what are the scores that this team scored. Right. First team scored 3, then 5, then 7, which is 15, minus what did the other team score? 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is equal to 9. That is the efficiency of the first team. Then the efficiency of the second team is equal to, and okay, yeah, makes sense. In the end, I will remove efficiency of one team and try to figure out its efficiency given the efficiency of all the other teams. 15. How much total score did the second team cost? 12 minus 3 plus 6 plus 7. That is negative efficiency, which is also fine. 16 minus 4. And efficiency of the third team is equal to total score that it scored, which is also 12. Right, fine, does not matter. And 5 plus 6 plus 4, that is 15. That is minus 3. And then the fourth team, I hope it did well. 2 plus 7, 9 plus 13, 4, 13 minus, and it didn't do well. 4 plus 4. We'll do 13, 15 minus 2. Right. I have efficiencies. How? Right. So if I add, I have all these numbers. Right. This minus this. I think is the whole thing equal to 0? 9 minus 4, 5. That becomes 5. Shit, the whole thing becomes, it does become equal to 0. These are all the scores that the first team scored plus the scores of the second team, right? So this is this, this is the summation of this is the summation of this, and this is the summation of this, and then this thing which is being subtracted is the summation of this thing. This thing is the summation of this thing. This thing is the summation. Okay, so the total is shit. The total is going to be 0. I can just, what can I do? So the efficiency of the remaining team would be equal to 0 minus the sum of the efficiencies of n minus 1 teams. Coding class, that is nice of you. Right, that does make sense actually. Right, so this is not very complicated. Then, right, first I have to do also this. Make a new file for this one. CPP, right? Boilerplate. Get what is that? CPP, boilerplate, and right, and n is the number that I will have, and let's say a sum, right? Cn, I take n, right, and while, because I want this loop to end and to only run n minus 1 times, that is why re-decrementing n, and sum is initially equal to 0, equal equals 0, right? And sum plus whatever is the current, okay, right? I will also take in Cn goes to current and add that, and within C out the efficiency of the missing team, which should be equal to minus sum, right? That should work. I hope. Compiling. Okay, it never compiles. Have I saved it? Oh, wait, what? Oh, no, not this one. Solver. Yes, minus sum is correct, right? CPP, run this, compiling. That says AC. I guess that means answer correct, and I can just sum. It's called goal of victory. Goals of victory. Submit. Let's see. It should say accepted. We will see running on test 1 and 2 and accepted. That is cool. Let's go on to goals of victory then. Target practicing, which is going to be the fourth problem of the day. Let's see. Okay. Target practicing. 10 by 10 target is made out of 5 rings. Makes sense. Each ring has a different point value. Okay. The middle ring has 5. The outermost has 1. The next 2, and till middle we have 5. Right. Vlad. Vlad. Vlad fire several arrows at the target. Help them determine how many points to go. Okay. What do I have in the input? It is 10 by 10. Ah. Okay. The input consists of many tests. The first is right. Each test case consists of 10 lines. 10 lines each representing this. Okay, so I have to do the. Okay. That should be doable. Lob, lob, lob is shooting. Kalashnikov rifle. Let's see how that works. CPP, BLP, boilerplate. Now we go right, and I already know what I'm going to get. Let's say I am making a vector of string, right? And yes, vector of strings, and it will be called matrix. Vector of vector of strings is fine. It will be called matrix, and vector, that vector will be of size 10. That is cool. While, nope, not no while. Int I equal 0 I. I less than 10, I purpose do this. Cn, right, Cn matrix I, right, I at this point should have the thing, should have what Vlad did. Right. Uh, then I will traverse through that thing. Wait, maybe I can do it. Yeah, I can do it when I am taking in the input, right, at this point. Now, if I were to do this, right, um, for char C in matrix I, there are some things that I would like to. No, I would like also have to know the index of the char, right? For int j equals to 0 and j less than 10, not 120, and in j plus plus. Right, I have that, I have I, and I have j, and I am traversing. How do I figure out the point value of a point? If any one of them, either I or j, is equal to 0, right, in this whole row, I or in this whole thing, I is equal to 0, and in this whole thing, j is equal to 0. Here, either they are equal to 0, at least any one of them is equal to 0 or equal to 9, then point value is 1. And then, right, point value is 1, at least one of them is that. And okay, I will have to consider the lower number between the two, right? If I have 3, 0, I could check, say that one of them is 3, right? But the other is 0. Yeah. So between I and j, I will take the smaller number, and that smaller number will help me determine where I am in the ring, right? And then, right, the smaller the number, or shit, yeah, yeah, what if here I am here, something like that, because in this row, the reason that I know that answer is 1 is because this because I is not smaller but the greatest value that it can have. So from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till 4, if both of them are between 0 to 4, then I will be looking at the fourth number. No, no, no. Right, my 0, 0 is at this point. This is 0, 0, then 0, 1, 0, 2, and all that. Fine. Wait, I already know I, right? When I'm going in there, I already know the value of I. Now, I, right, I already know the value of I. Then. Right. No, not right. I know the value of I. Does that help? I do not want to make individual cases. I do not want to make individual cases. I want to make at most 5 if conditions to figure this out. Let's see. How can I figure this out? My origin is at this point, and this is the positive coordinate, right? Um, this should be easy. 2. Let's list out all the points which have 1 as their value, then all the points which have 2, then points which have 3, then 4 and 5, and then try to see some similarities, which should be apparent to me if I had a little bit higher IQ than I have. Right. Hmm. If I can just remove all of this statistic data, I can also remove all of this. For 1, let me get them back as a like memory and stuff like that. Right. Okay. And 1. When the score is 1, when the points range from the score is 1, when the points range from 0, I from I equal to 0, and then j can be from 0, right. I is 0/9, and j can be, in that case, anything from 0 to 9, right? That is, that covers the top and bottom row, and then we have to consider the columns. The columns, I can range from 0 to 9, and j will be either 0 or 9. That is the first. Uh, these all squares have the value of 1. And then in the second case, when I is equal to either 1 or 8, and j can range from 1 to 8 itself. Yeah, j can range. Okay, am starting to see a pattern, I guess. 1 to 8, and vice versa. And j can range, I can range from 1 to 8, and j can be 1 or 8. Those, that covers all the 2 points. Then I guess this would be like this: 7. I can be either 1 or 7, and in that case j would range from 0 to 7, and I would be from 0 to 7, and j would be equal to either 7, 2 or 8, or 2 or 7. Then when it is 4, then I can be either 3 or 6, and j can range from 3 to 6, and vice versa. I can range from 3 to 6, or j can be 3 or 6. Then we have 5th, the golden place where Vlad wants to fire the most. I can be 5 or 6, and j can be 4 or 5. 4 or 5, not 5 or 6. That's easy. Right. So, how do I figure out the points? All right. If both I and j are between 4 and 5, or equal to 4 and 5, then this is the answer. Both of them have to be in this case, right? So I will go from inside out. I will first check for 5, then check for 4, then check for 3, then check for 2, then check for 1. All right. Right, that should be cool. Okay, if matrix I j equal to x, that is right, small x, that is the thing that I'm getting, small or capital X, my bad, capital X, if it is equal to capital X, then let's see. I will first of all check for 5. If I and j 5, if I equal to 4 or 5, if how do I check in range if they are in some range? Not if I greater than 4, greater, and well, in this case I can just check like this: if I equal to 4 and j equal, if I greater than equal to 4 and I less than equal to 5 and j also greater than equal to 4 and j less than equal to 5. If that is the case, then let's also have a running sum and sum, which is initially 0, or score. That is what Vlad wants. Score. Score. If this is the case, then I can do score plus equal to 5, whatever it is. Right. And else if checking for 4, if I equal to 3 or 6 and j between 3 or 6, if I equal to 3 or 6, how do I do that? Can I check if I in, nah, I don't think so. We'll need a couple of brackets. If I equal to 3, or I can do 3, or I equal equal 3 or 6, and we have j greater than equal to 3 and j less than equal to 6. And yes, I will just do it in reverse too, right? From right, that is one condition. And the second one is this, either this, or we have j equal to 3, or j equal to 6, and I greater than equal to 3 and I less than equal to 6. Right, right. Then do this and then copy, paste for 3, for 2, and then for 1. For 3, we will be checking between 2 and between 7, right? 2 and 7, 2 and 7, and I hope this works, and I guess it will work. 2 and 7, and in this case we'll be checking between 8 and 1, between, oh shit, 8 and 1, 8 and 1, maybe 8 and 1, and this should be 2 points, and here between 0 and 9. Like what? 0 and 9, right? 0 and 9, 0 and 9, 0 and 9, and this is equal to 1. Right, and in the end, I have to std out, like C out the score with the new line. That should work. Run. Let's see. Compiling, taking a long time to compile, and error. Let's save it. Space CPP. Let's see. Run. That is cool. It is working. So, and we can submit. It is called target practicing by Vlad. Submit. That should say accepted. Compilation error. Cannot compile vector string matrix. Why no solution? P error, or what is the error? Exact, and what is the exact error? Matrix was not declared in this scope. Okay, all the errors are in the 7th line. In this one. Cannot compile file program.cpp in the world void solver. Vector was not declared in this scope. Okay. Shit. And why didn't I get any error as a consequence? Expected file name or file name. That run this now. Everything should be amazing. It says compiling and build error. Run now again. And it says answer correct. Let's see, I will submit it again. Choose file. Target practicing with Vlad. With Raskolnikov. Not Kalashnikov rifle. MQ running test 1. Cool. Let's see. And now, ambitious kid, that would be the last question for the day. How long has it been? It has been 1 hour 53 minutes. Frame rate is low. kbps is low. And I am running out of battery. So let me complete this fast. Chanika, Park Chanika's child, is an ambitious kid. So Chanika gives her the following problem to solve her, to test her ambition. Given an array of integers, I don't think I will be able to do this, but because I have only 16% battery and I cannot get a charger, because if I charge my laptop while streaming, then I get a static noise from my microphone. But let's do as much as I can, and I will continue tomorrow's stream. Given an array of integer from a1 to an in one operation, Chanika can choose one element, then increase or decrease the element's value by 1. Chanika can do the operation multiple times, even for different elements. Okay, what is the minimum number of operations that must be done to make it such that all of the elements multiply by each other equals 0? Well, for that, I have to, what is the minimum number? Okay, For that, I have to figure out the smallest thing, the smallest number. Like for this, it would be 2. For this, it would be 3. For this, it would be 0. I have to figure out the smallest number, and that would be the answer. So that is cool, and that is very easy because I only have to have 1 0 in the whole array, right? So first integer n, that is the number of integers, and then c, that will be the current, and then min, that will be the minimum. Yes, that should be enough. Cn goes to n, and while n minus minus, what I have to see is Cn goes to c, and then I will have to see the absolute value of c. And min initially, okay, right, minus, I will take c in c, right, and min equals c initially, right, 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 and then I will take this, right, and min equals as absolute c, and have I included? I have not included abs. Now I have C standard library, right, and now this C equals ABS C, the absolute value of C. And now if C smaller than min, if C is smaller than, I will just do this, min equals C smaller than min. If that is true, then I will take C, otherwise I will keep min as it is. And at the end, std C out min with a, I can just add plus new line. That works. Yes, that does work. Set new line, save, and test, running, compiling. Water is finished. Some error. Why? Save it, cpp, run, compile. Let's see. Uh, oh shit. Okay, it is not compiling for any one of these. So let's go and compile it on my own. Line plus plus. The name of the column was ambitious child, ambitious kid dot slash out, and the first is 3 2. I can just put on anything I want. 3, and then 2 minus 6 and 5. Answer should be 5. 2. It is 15, and it didn't stop. Why is that the thing? Why is it 16, and why didn't it stop? That again. Oh, because, yeah, right. All of this has to be in here because I'm not getting any T in this case. Right, makes sense. CPP, run this one, and this time it should work. Running, and wrong answer. I got 12, and in this I should get 1, but I got 3rd. Why am I getting the? Let me do something. See min and everything. I will see see. Uh, yeah, plus a new line here also, plus a new line for old times sake. I don't know. CPP and run this thing. What do I expect to see? Let's see. Wrong answer, and That is what I get. And I didn't even get a new line. Maybe it is overriding the new line part. Lang. Mm-hmm. Uh, yeah, now slash out. Let's see. 3, 2, -6, and 5. Right. And I didn't get a new line. So that is really um, an ambitious kid. That is the thing. Doesn't this work? A new line. So plus let me do this. Bang dot slash out. Why is it taking this long to compile every time? The battery is at 13%. I will have to hurry a bit. 5 concurrent viewers, that is crazy. I'm getting popular. 2, -6, and 5. Okay, this time I got 2, then 6, then 5. Okay, and the answer should have been 2. The answer should have been 2, but I got 12 instead. Why? No, answer should have been 2, but I got 12 instead. Why? Why? Mhm. Is it because of this plus thing? I don't think that it. I don't even have to do this plus here. And that comes after my answer, not before it. It is taking long to compile. 3, yeah. 2, -6, and 5. Now it is 2, so oh, okay, because I was adding a character to a integer and that character's value, which would be, I guess, 10 was being added to 2. Okay, okay, that does make sense. Wait, nope. Uh, Close just this window of the terminal. Yeah. Space EPP, run, and I guess should be fine. No, shit. I have to first remove all the other things that I was outputting. Right, space EPP and run. That's it. Compiling and running build error def mode run. It should work this time at least. Compiling, running. That is amazing. And I guess I can just submit it now. An kid. Ambitious kid. That is the problem, right? No, ambitious kid is not the problem. Having ambitious kids is fine. Running on test 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21. Yeah, accepted. That is cool. And refresh. And I have completed this many problems and I was unable to do this. So I will do, I guess, offline and then show you guys if you want to see how I did it. And that would be it for today's stream. Has it been 2 hours? It has been 2 hours. And 584 frames were dropped, which is bad. And I hope that the stream quality was fine and acceptable. And yeah, that will be it for the stream.